Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 442 podcast. I'm Azar Matani, and as always, I'm joined by the wonderful Tommy Soddy.
That's me.
And the well-travelled Tony O.
Morning, boys. Where did well-travelled come from?
It's an international break, my friend. We are all travelling, aren't we?
I wish I was travelling.
Yeah. It'd be
you
nice.
And me
Yeah.
both. You and me both.
Yeah. No, living vicariously through... Well, not really. I was going to say through Arsenal travel in international break, but I've seen very little, so this should be great. Yeah.
Yeah, football podcast where I have watched none of the football because the international break is my time off.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, deservedly so, right? You know, and a little break from Premier League. So I certainly needed it, that's for sure. And you know what I get rewarded for in a break is to get to watch Poland play. So I've seen a little bit. And what I've seen has been a disaster.
You maintain a certain level of suffering at all times, don't you?
It's just that's the requirement this season, I guess. I don't know what I deserved or what I did to deserve that, but it's been like that this season.
I can think of several things you've done to deserve it. And I will leave it up to the listeners to figure out what that is.
The recording, is this still about that? A lost recording? Are we still on about that?
But that is one of the reasons. That is one of the reasons.
Tony forgot about it already. He's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, Tony's not the one that has to edit these, though. I have to do that, so... Let's kick it off with Poland. The Fernando Santos era is, I was going to say up and running. That seems too generous a term. It's stumbling out of bed and has crashed into the door.
Hey, you've described it spot on because we conceded a minute in. so that's a pretty good description of how it went. And then we conceded again, I think, in the 20th minute. So we were down 2-0 in like 20 minutes. So, it's a great start to watching Poland play and try and qualify for Euros. I guess the only benefit is that it's the top two teams in each group that qualify. And our group consists of like Czech, Faroe Islands, Albania, Moldova. I think like it's a weak group. So you think
I would like to question your pronunciation of the Faroe Islands.
Yeah, you can definitely because definitely.
Did you just call them the Faroe Islands?
No, I said Faroe Islands. Did I not? It may be the.
I will be listening back to that because maybe I'm half asleep, but I also do not trust you.
I just googled Poland national team.
Yeah.
The first article is Arsenal and Poland defenders slammed for lost display.
Man.
It's just...
I will say, Kvyat was absolutely dreadful this game. Dreadful, man.
Sign another bump.
Yeah, you may have, actually. It looked like he was a good player before you signed him, and then he's just got downhill.
To be fair, he hasn't been playing. I think that doesn't help.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
The one thing I don't get is that you have a new manager. You would think that, under that, players would be like, all right, hey, let's really try and press this new manager. Want to, get my spot in the team, cement, that sort of thing. Man, the players are so shit. It's so bad. It's like, I want to blame Santos already, but
you should.
Which I should, you're right.
Yeah.
But also, you got to blame the players. Like, there was not one good performance out there. It was crap all the way around. And, just nothing to look forward to with this team anymore. Just go with a bunch of U18 something like that, and let them gain some experience. I don't know, because the guys we have now just suck. There's no fight in them. It's just Anyhow,
I still don't understand how you went in this direction, but
yeah.
It's so random.
Oh my god. I tell you what, every time an international break rolls around, I'm a little bit annoyed because it's the international break. But then I remember that we get to just listen to Tommy be upset about Poland, and brightens the mood a little bit.
And the worst part is, like, Czechs, they're not even that good of a team.
No.
They have the guy from West Ham, midfielder, what's his name? So slow, tall guy. Suchek. He's so slow. We can't even beat this guy in midfield. He is slowest midfielder around, and we can't beat this guy.
They have the striker from the German league. What's his name? Patrick Schick, right?
Yeah, he's reasonable.
No,
he's
but
pretty good.
he did not play.
He didn't play, so
no.
who scored?
Who scored? Who scored? I'll tell you. Ladislav Krejci, all right. Tomas Kvankara, Jan Kuchka. You know all these guys.
Are you making up names again?
No. These are real people. Anyhow.
Wow, so Poland really played like Schick, didn't they?
Oh yeah. That's the one full game that I watched was that, and I don't know why I even bothered.
To be fair, Nigeria did lose as well. So yeah, to Guinea-Bissau, I think we lost too. Yeah, I did not watch that, and I won't be watching the second game today either. So.
Oh yeah, the second game is today. That's for us too. Yeah. I learned my lesson. I won't be. I'll just check the score at the end of the day.
Yep.
And see what happened.
Uzair, how did Pakistan get on?
Let's leave it at that. Actually, tell you what, I will now Google. They lost 1-0 to the Maldives.
Oh.
That's disappointing, considering, the Maldives are mostly underwater, and they still managed to put out a team that beat us. At least Canada beat Curacao,
Yeah.
so that's something.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, all our home countries suck. in very different ways, though. In very different ways.
Yeah.
Though against Fernando Santos, I think Pakistan might be able to nick a draw.
You get a goal. I don't know if you're gonna get a draw out of that.
I don't know if we know what direction to kick the ball in, man. It's not good. We're not good. But, hey, a team that did actually pick up a couple of wins over the international break was England. They beat the two toughest teams in their Euro qualifying group. Got a 2-1 win away to Italy and a 2-0 win at home against Ukraine.
Yeah. Harry Kane finally won a trophy. He really.
Hey, he did.
He
finally
really
broke
celebrated.
Rooney's
Yeah.
England record, right? What's it? He's at 55? 56 goals now, because I think he scored against Ukraine as well.
Sure, I'll take your word for it.
He doesn't get a trophy for that, does he?
He gets something.
He gets something? A little medal? All right.
Yeah, it was presented before the Ukraine game. It's fitting that he broke the record scoring a penalty. I think Rooney did the same thing when he broke the previous record. Yeah, I don't know. I watched some of the first game and some of the second game. It's just comfortable. Italy are rubbish now. It's kind of sad. But
Yeah, I forgot that Roberto Mancini was coaching them actually when I saw on the sidelines. I was like, oh, so that's where you are right now. Okay.
was he the coach when they won the Euros? He was, right?
Yeah, he was. It was just that Euros team was the end of the cycle for them.
Yeah.
Because they lost the likes of Chiellini's gone, Insigne's gone.
Bonucci.
Lost a
Bonucci's
few
still
more.
there.
Is Bonucci still there? He
Okay.
probably should be gone. But they have also they haven't produced a good international level striker for a while now.
No. I had hope for Scamacca, but that's gone, I think. They did play Wilfred Noto. He did okay, but yeah, you're right. The talent pool has kind of dwindled for Italy, so yeah, it was pretty underwhelming. Even after England went down to 10 men.
Luke Shaw bravely deciding to get some rest instead of playing another game, and I respect him for it.
Yeah.
He knows how to get out of international duty. That's another way to do it. If you can't fake an injury like a lot of these other players are doing, this is one way to do it.
Just get a rest.
All the Manchester boys, Haaland, what's his face, Rashford, who's on vacation in New York City.
He deserves it. He deserves a
Southgate
break.
was not impressed. He was not impressed.
Fuck Southgate though.
Yeah.
I mean, is not even the first England player to go on vacation in New York City. Did you see the thing about Jack Grealish going to New York City after the World Cup?
Yeah, I did. I saw
Jack,
that.
that's typical Jack. Yeah.
But no. He went to New York City so he could do a big tour of all the places where they filmed the Home Alone movies.
Well, you know what? Of all the things he could have done, yeah, of all the
I
things
loved it so much.
Yeah.
Jack Grealish is just wandering around Central Park, being like, "Where's the lady with the pigeons?" He legitimately said, "Yeah, I went and I looked for her, but I couldn't find her." And I think I love him. He's so dumb that I love him.
Yeah,
He is the perfect himbo.
Speaking of Jack Grealish, in that Italy game, he missed one of the biggest sitters I've seen this season.
It's not just that he misses, how he missed.
He was like the technique he went for. It was very strange.
He was busy thinking about Kevin McAllister.
Or maybe someone told him there was a Home Alone sequel that he didn't know about. He's like, "What? I got to see that." But yeah, and then what was it on site yesterday? When they beat Ukraine, Saka had some just amazing, fantastic top bins goal in that game. He's really looking like a world class, player. And
I'm just glad he was up against Zinchenko, a fullback that won't kick him. So for once, yeah, he had fun. It's whatever. Like he has that mindset where he wants to play every game, which I kind of like. Like I'm torn between wanting him to rest and wanting him to score as many goals as possible. So, but he's developing that shot. That Robin shot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is a good weapon for him. Ivan Toney, he got it was his
debut.
His debut. Yeah.
Just before that betting ban comes in, sneak a debut in.
It's weird to me how he gets a chance to play, in spite of all that's going on. When you consider the way Southgate is trying to build this culture, I don't know.
It's weird. I mean, but hey, like England did what was asked of them this international break. They had a couple of tests, passed them both. We didn't mention Harry Maguire completely losing his mind for a goal.
I wanted to. I'm like, you know what? Non-event. Just leave Harry alone. We've
seen this one before already.
Yeah.
But
Tommy, what do you think of Mudryk? So before we move on, what do you think of Mudryk, Tommy? Because
did he have a stinker against England?
Yeah, he kind of did. Catching some heat yesterday.
Yeah, I heard that. I read some of it was Zinchenko saying, you went the wrong direction, buddy, but now he's got to, focus and work hard, something like that. Honestly, when he first showed up, I think we played Liverpool, right, and he had that sort of cameo in, and he
against James Milner.
Yeah, he looks so electric. He looks so electric, and it was just like, wow, yeah, this is the guy. This is the winger that we need to really break some lines and have some creativity. And it has been almost nothing since. To be fair, I think he had a decent showing our last Premier League game, but I know maybe I'm wrong about that. But yeah,
how many games has he even started for Chelsea at this point? Has it been like one or two? Maybe?
It's very minimal. Yeah, he's been coming on with sub cameos, and yeah, only like a couple games I think. He started the second game, the first game cameo. He started the next game after that. It was pretty much non-existent, sub at a half. It's it's something you just have to wait and see how he adjusts, and hopefully next season is sort of his breakout season. And I've not seen him play for Ukraine.
If next season isn't his breakout season, his career might be in the mud.
I mean, he's also he's also got a 10-year contract.
Got a laugh out of Tommy. It's worth it.
10-year contract, is that what we gave him? 8?
Oh Jesus!
8 years. 8 years, I think.
Yeah. So he's got to come good, or this is gonna be a disaster. But
100 million.
100 million, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what though? 100 million these days, guys, is what you pay for Anthony as well, right? So come on.
That was a stupid signing too.
You saw us pay 100 mil for Anthony, and you're like, yeah, we should do that.
I can't wait for Arsenal's 100 million winger signing disaster. Please
He saved us from it. I mean, to be fair, I think I do still like Mudryk. I just think, I think he's gone somewhere where he's not giving himself the best chance. I'll put it at that. But I kind of still hope it works out for him because I like the style of player, but we'll see.
I mean, he's still a good player. It's just whether he's gonna.
We think so. We don't actually know.
We don't actually know.
He's still a talented player.
Talented,
I don't
yes.
know if
He's got talent.
He's never scored for Ukraine, right? Like.
Yeah, I wonder how many games has he played for Ukraine? That's the thing.
He's 22. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Do we want to briefly mention France slapping Netherlands 4-0? The restart of the Ronald Koeman era, because the Netherlands just seem to cycle through about the same three coaches.
Well, he's back in charge.
Excited for Van Gaal to be back in charge after this.
I think Van Nistelrooy will be the next Dutch coach.
He's doing decent stuff at PSV right now.
I like the way he's... Well, yeah, I think he will be a decent shout, and I think he'll be more positive. What happened to Holland, man? Like, they at least used to be fun to watch. Like, now...
So, the last time Koeman was in charge was just before he took over Barcelona, and the Netherlands looked really good under him for a bit. And once Koeman got tempted away to the Barcelona job, it just started to fall apart. And now it fell apart for Koeman at Barcelona as well, and now Koeman's come back, and it's his first game, and it's unfortunate to be playing France, who I think we're always going to beat them. But
they had a lot of guys drop out as well prior to this match.
A bunch of them got food poisoning.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Van Dijk was like, "There's something in the chicken curry." I loved it, but everyone else got sick.
All right, Virgil.
He's got a good immune system, I guess.
Just a stronger stomach than the rest of the squad.
She saw that on the pitch, but okay.
Kylian Mbappe, first game as France captain. Apparently Antoine Griezmann was a little disappointed that he wasn't chosen, but
right decision for me.
I think so too.
Can't really go too wrong with that.
They combined for a goal in what, a minute, 2 minutes, straight away. Mbappe setting up Griezmann. Yeah, Kylian. It looks like he's getting better, which is crazy. But I think in the last year, he's gone up another level. Yeah,
very concerning.
He's slowing down in terms of the way he plays in the final third, which is nuts. Like the last goal he scored, where he sits down 3 defenders. Yeah,
he's got like I believe, what is he at? Is he at 30 goals for France now? I think somewhere.
I don't know.
He's had, but like, he's in the amount of games he's played. I think Giroud has like 50, 52.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to be like, when are we getting our first Giroud?
Yeah, there's a Giroud, but like Mbappe will break that record. It's just guaranteed. Yeah.
Probably while Giroud is still playing at these rates. Yeah.
I'm going to enjoy Giroud being the record holder while I still can.
Wait, Giroud, he didn't get called up, did he?
He did.
He did? Okay.
He did.
Good. Yeah, he was on Colomboani. He started, and I think I think he might be a better foil for the front three, but Giroud is a good plan B, right? So, yeah, he'll play for as long as he can. He'll want to play at least in the next Euros, I think. Is it in Germany? This next one?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
I believe it. We should briefly chat about some meaningful football on this pod episode. The Women's Champions League is into the quarterfinal stage, and all the ties are currently poised at 1-0 after the first leg.
Yeah, I watched the Arsenal Bayern game. 41 shots in that game, by the way.
Sheesh.
25 from Arsenal, who I don't know how they didn't score in that second half. They battered the Bayern goal. Yeah, really, really good quality game. I watched the Chelsea one as well. Chelsea could have killed this tie. I wasn't that impressed with Bayern. With Lyon. They look a bit weaker this year. Arsenal beat them earlier in the season. But
Leon are essentially the like perennial winners of the Champions League for a while, right?
Usually like all 8 teams left in the competition are really strong. Chelsea, they have a really good talent pool. They're favorites to win the Premier League this season.
I was gonna say they were top of the WSL last I checked.
Yeah. Are they? I think it might be Man United.
I think they overtook Man United
No, because they lost. They lost this weekend.
Did they?
Yeah, they lost to Man City. So Chelsea are third right now, but
interesting.
They have a game in hand. So there's a 4-way race right now. Man United are first, Man City are second, having played 16. Chelsea and Arsenal. So Chelsea's third, Arsenal's fourth, but Chelsea and Arsenal are within 3 points.
Yeah, it's the game in hand.
So basically, if any of those 4 teams win all their games, they win the league. That's where they are right now.
I'm just going to interject here. I just love just hearing Chelsea in the title race. Chelsea winning. Chelsea, good team. Chelsea, I love it. Just, yeah. Sorry.
Just full-time start watching their women's team.
I feel like I should, yeah, definitely.
The qualities are really high in the Champions League this season. I've tried to catch as many games as I can since the zone still carries the coverage. Sam Kerr was excellent in the Chelsea game on the counter-attack. She should have scored. I don't know how she didn't. But, they're all delicately poised. I think all the games are this week, the second legs. They're all 1-0. They're all 1-0 in the bounds, so 1 goal in the bounds. Barcelona, they won. They beat Roma 1-0. Ian Gogo, I think, scored the goal. And I forget the last one. Wolfsburg.
Here's what I found on the web.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
What was that?
That's my phone trying to give me some information. Giving me rubbish information, but yeah.
That is too good.
Wolfsburg beats PSG, yes. Another good game. Not quite as offensive, but yeah. Janssen with a penalty to give Wolfsburg the lead. So, yeah. I'd expect really intense games in the second legs. Like I said, the quality and the intensity has been really high, which makes the games really interesting. Any one of those teams has a chance to win the Champions League this year. So, yeah.
It'll definitely be worth keeping an eye on that. And shifting over to the men's Premier League now. Antonio Conte finally got the one thing he's been chasing for the last 5 months, it feels like. He and Spurs have agreed to part ways by mutual consent. Ciao, Antonio.
Sad.
You will be missed.
Ryan Mason is the coach right now, yeah?
No, it's Stellini's taking over for the rest of the season with Mason as assistant coach.
Who's Stellini?
Conte's assistant.
That's not right.
The one that took charge for the 3 or 4 games where Conte was away because of surgery.
Yeah, but surely when you're head coach,
I know. I think they've done really well to keep Stellini because the team played a lot better when he was in the dugout.
They did? Okay.
Well, they won all their games.
They won games.
Right?
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, and Antonio Conte was nominated for Manager of the Month without
right.
a single game.
Yeah. Okay.
That's hilarious.
That's nuts. Wow.
I think the with the other news that we had is the sort of obvious direction that Spurs would want to look for is going for Julian Nagelsmann. Would be the obvious sort of look in for them in terms of next manager?
There's no chance. I don't see it. He can't pick that as his next job. That would be a disaster.
I hope he doesn't. But it seems like that's the kind of guy that they would probably kind of work towards getting.
I think it's a guy that they need to approach him for sure. Whether he takes the job or not is a different matter, but they have to approach him at the very least.
Yeah, I mean, I heard talk of like, or read stuff like, oh, Pochettino is an option. That's always going to come up, but it made me think of
this Pochettino Spurs thing is just it's that guy who constantly just talks about his ex.
Yeah, I think Pochettino would be open to going back. I don't think there's any chance Daniel Levy takes him back. I think Pochettino burned some bridges on his way out. So
he's been on a long vacation,
Yeah, he has. I don't think any. Who would take him? Right, that's the thing. Like, of all the top jobs, like, who do you see taking Pochettino? Doesn't really have a track record of doing anything. So,
yeah, it's.
Man, are you discounting the French League Cup?
Yes.
Wow, unbelievable.
Who do they play in the finals?
Nice.
That's just a random guess. Yeah.
As for Conte, I mean, I would assume his reputation has taken quite a hit here with the way he's handled his tenure at Spurs. But I still feel like he's gonna get that big job in Italy, and then we'll see how he does then. But if he fails again,
he can retire, right?
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to get another big job after that, but yeah, it looks like it's going to be a top team in Italy that will for sure go for Conte. That's where he's going to end up back at home, which is exactly what he wants. So he's happy.
Mm-hmm.
How many more paydays is this grifter gonna get?
He's good at it.
He's good. Yeah,
he's very good at it. I mean, we already briefly mentioned the sacking of Julian Nagelsmann. Let's chat Bundesliga for a little bit, because that Nagelsmann sacking came out of absolutely nowhere in midweek, I think. And Bayern have replaced him with good old Tommy Tukes. 4-4 Tuchel is back on the menu. Is it harsh that they sacked Nagelsmann?
Yes.
Because I personally think it's pretty harsh.
It's super harsh. Yeah.
72 goals scored in 25 games, 27 conceded. Best attack, best defense. 1 point off top. Like
2.38 points per game average.
1 point off top, and they're playing the top place team next week. They're playing Dortmund next week. They play City in the Champions League right after that. And they've won every single Champions League game so far this year, including 2 games against PSG.
What's the complaint?
What do you want the man to do?
What was the problem? Like, I get that Tuchel is, like, they were afraid it was going to go somewhere else, because I think the plan was to give Nagelsmann to the end of the season. And I think people were starting to whisper in Tuchel's ear, and they just decided to act. But I look at it, and I'm like, okay, they had an iffy middle period, Bayern, I think, and they lose their last game.
They did lose their last game, I think.
Yeah, but like, I don't know, man. It's a very un-Bayern Munich thing to do. They're not this reactionary.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
no,
I hope they don't win now.
I just desperately want Dortmund or Union Berlin or Freiburg. I mean, there's a lot of teams not far off the top in Germany this year, but any of them to win other than Bayern generally always makes for fun viewing. But the fact that we've gotten this late into the season and Bayern aren't top is almost a novelty at this point, which probably contributed to the sacking.
Yeah, I think probably one of the main reasons that Tony's right is just like Tuchel's available, and they had this small window, and they were like, if we don't go for him now, he's going to go to wherever, Madrid, whatever team, and they probably just envisioned like, okay, this is the guy that we want more than Nagelsmann. Even though I thought Nagelsmann was going to be there like long term, like he's like
Yeah.
a
He
highly
was
rated
touted.
manager.
Yeah, like Tommy, all that talk about the best young manager in world
Oh,
football.
he's the one.
Nagelsmann is
Yeah.
the guy it actually applies to.
Yeah. You know, there has been some stuff behind the scenes. Now, I don't know how much Nagelsmann is to blame for this, but you remember Neuer got in a ski accident and I guess he broke his leg early on, and I think Nagelsmann then fired his goalkeeping coach as like a lesson or something like that, his long-term coach. He got
Apparently, his goalkeeping coach was just a head case.
Yeah,
as well.
exactly, too, right? And so he got his own staff in there. He had issues with Lewandowski. I think he's had issues with some of the older players in the team just because, like, he's younger than them, which is naturally going to happen, I think, when you have a young coach. But I don't know if that's just enough to, Bayern boss be like, okay, this guy's gone. I would assume that there must have been something happen behind the scenes that we just don't know that contributed to this, or it could just been a real just out of the blue, like, okay, Tuchel's available, we'll take him. We're not winning the league right now. Let's fire this guy. Yeah, it's just honestly, I would take him at Chelsea in a heartbeat too. So,
who took out Bayern last year?
Who took out Bayern in Champions League last year?
It wasn't Villarreal, was it?
Man, that's a good
It
question.
might have been Villarreal, actually.
They finished. Wait, I can't remember. They won the Bundesliga last year, though, right?
You're right.
Yeah, they
it was
did. They won the
Villarreal.
Bundesliga.
Okay, but I can't remember. I think it was Villarreal.
No,
but
you're
I
right.
can't-
It was.
It was, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, because I
2-1 on
remember.
aggregate.
Okay, this whole masterclass talk. All right, yeah. Well, that probably irritated the board. Yeah.
No, I mean, we know by it. If they're not winning the league by, where are we at? March, then any manager's going to feel a bit in the hot seat, and that's just the case with that team. And unfortunately, Nagelsmann is the one that took the fall for it. I think Tuchel is going to be a great fit for Bayern.
I mean, if the board didn't like what Nagelsmann was doing, Tuchel falls out with every single fucking board.
Yeah.
He is a real nutcase.
Yeah.
Tuchel. So I don't like. Tuchel's a good manager. Is he that good that you make this move? Like, I don't know.
think he's like I think he's an excellent top level manager, but I agree. I don't think you sack someone of Nagelsmann's abilities and quality.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if Klopp was available, I'd get it, right?
Yeah, that would make more sense to me at least.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out.
Maybe Tuchel will do what he did at Chelsea, just take over and win the Champions League.
Possibly. I think that's what Cancelo said. Yeah. That he beat me in a final 2 years ago. Maybe he might actually win me a final this year. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we don't play Bayern if we make it through. That'd be terrible.
who do you have in the Champions League?
They have Real Madrid.
Yeah. That's optimistic.
I said
Yeah.
if
Even
hopefully
the if is optimistic.
the if is optimistic. It's too much.
Yeah.
Don't you dare say if.
God, speaking of Real Madrid, might as well have a bit of chat about La Liga because they lost to Barcelona just before the international break, and Barcelona are just walking away with this title at this point. I think they're on track right now to break the record for the fewest goals conceded in a La Liga season. It's a 12-point lead now. They've only conceded 9 goals.
9
in
goals.
26
I just saw
games.
that. Wow, that is incredible.
That's Jose Mourinho.
I mean,
type football.
yeah, that's Mourinho's first season at Chelsea
Yeah. I think
level.
it's, 11 or 13 goals was it? Can't remember.
15.
Oh, it was 15. Okay, still impressive. Yeah.
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 But, I mean, the thing is, when you look at Barcelona and you look at this kind of league form in there and you contrast it with what they were in Europe, it's night and day.
Yeah.
there is a school of thought that Pep's disciples don't do well in Europe. So we'll see. We'll see.
Is this, Tony, is this a school that you're enrolling in?
Yep. This is a school. Arteta's record in Europe is not great.
What's the tuition like? You know, just for someone who's window shopping, just for someone who's eyeing it up.
It's free right now, but you know.
You don't know where to go with the analogy, do you?
No, I don't. But yeah,
That's
especially
skate
we're trying this thing now with video. Yeah, so I see you as you're making these jokes. I'm just like, you're really finding yourself so funny.
Someone has to, right? If I don't gas myself, I don't get anything off of you two. So if I don't gas myself up, you know, just gonna be sitting here sad and alone.
You know, Lewandowski is the leading goal scorer in La Liga, and I think he's been pretty crap for most of the season. So
he was terrible in Europe. He was genuinely dreadful in Europe.
Oh yeah, he's been in really poor form, and he's also been injured for a little bit, and there's no real run over. Like Benzema hasn't been putting in the goals this season in the league. There's not really a stellar standout there, but
Ines Unal, wow, that's a name I hadn't heard in a while. He's second in the top scorers.
The sad part of La Liga here is probably the Valencia story, because they have their owner is
Peter Lim.
Peter Lim, and I don't know if you guys have seen.
That's the Neville's guy, yeah?
Yeah. He has put in probably zero money into the club, and their stadium is absolutely falling apart. In like the 8 or 10 years that he's been part of it, if you Google like the photos from 2014 to now, the stadium is atrocious. And they're in the relegation zone right now. It's just a sad state that where Valencia is in right now in terms of everything, the pitch, the team, the stadium, the ownership. It's just a disaster.
Yeah,
and that's scary.
Has been from the moment he took over.
Yep.
Yeah.
Makes you worry for clubs like Salford as well. Like, he's probably going to pull the money from there at some point. That's going to come crumbling down too. But if you got Valencia, I mean, they're 18th right now. There's a genuine chance they get relegated.
Yeah.
They could, like, they're not far off from safety. It's actually quite close from around like 13th to 19th. It's very similar to the Premier League season in that respect, because Getafe in 13th are on 29 points, and Almeria in 19th are on 26. So that could all change very rapidly, but there's a very real chance that Valencia go down. And it's surprising to see a club like Sevilla down there as well, because, I don't know, every time over the last few years I've seen Sevilla, it's been them winning the Europa League.
It's been a while, to be fair. It's been a while, no?
I don't know. United have drawn Sevilla in the next round, and I still have PTSD. I'm still terrified, even though I can objectively see they have not been good in the league this season. Like, United have played like 4 La Liga clubs already, I think. They've played Real Sociedad, they've played Real Betis, they've played Barcelona, who are all like in the top 6. But I'm afraid of Sevilla.
Do you know why Sevilla have been so bad? Their manager was Sempioli until up to last week, and
I know they just sacked him, and I am annoyed that they sacked him, because they'll get a fucking new manager bounce against us, won't they?
They do you know it's 21st in Segunda Segunda, right? Malaga are 21st in the second division. That is
Jesus.
Nuts. Yeah, there something similar happened where they were on a pooled funding so many years ago. Let's hope Valencia don't go that route. Real Zaragoza are down there, Sporting Gijón are down there. It's nuts, man. Some
big clubs in the second division.
Mm-hmm. Anyway.
I mean, speaking of quote unquote big clubs, PSG. I mean, they're running away with Liga. but this season feels hollow. It feels empty and it feels like a mess because once again they have fucked it up in the Champions League. Where do they go from here? Because fans are starting to turn on Messi. Neymar's injured. Mbappe might decide that as sporting director he decides to sell himself.
Good luck with that. Season's over for PSG, right? Like, they win the league, who cares? They're not even playing well. That's the worst part. Like, I think they actually do miss Neymar. And Messi's done what he wanted to do this season, man. He doesn't care about Ligue 1. Like, yeah, I think he's leaving. He's going to MLS probably at the end of the season, or Barcelona. Who knows?
How many more levers are they gonna pull to get him back?
That's true. We didn't even talk about that. Yeah. Investigations are still ongoing with Barcelona for payments made to referees. Yeah, insert.
Briefly circling back to that, it's just the big issue with that is that he was currently working as a referee because there's some referees that do work for clubs,
but
it's not at the same time that they were referees for the league. It's like after they finished being
Hold
referees.
There are some referees that do work for clubs.
I was just say former referees. So like, Madrid have someone who's been working for them since 2012.
In what capacity?
As like a ref analyst kind of thing. But the key thing is, he is no longer a La Liga ref. He stopped being a La Liga ref in 2011 and then took the job. I think I forget what other club it was. It was like Valencia, Sevilla, or someone like that. Like another like reasonably big name club. Have someone who's been working for them since 2019. But the important thing is they stopped being a referee in 2018. They're no longer employed as a referee.
Mm-hmm.
Is it dicey? Yes. But the problem with the Barcelona thing is Negreira was a referee and he was working for like the Spanish Federation while also getting these payments from Barcelona to these random shell corporations that he'd set up too, which adds in a likely sprinkle of tax evasion to all of it.
Imagine Barcelona's title this season gets taken away.
That would be the sweetest thing ever. I just hope for it to happen. Yeah. But going back to Liga, hey, Jonathan David is tied for the top goal scorer right now with Mbappe in the league, which is good to see. 19 for both of them. I have a feeling that this summer is going to be the time where he gets signed by maybe a Premier League club, maybe a bigger club, and maybe this summer, given his output again. It'd be nice to see him in the Premier League. I think he's ready. I think he's ready for it.
Ready for what though? I think he should stay there.
He should just stay. I don't know. I disagree.
Where do you see him being successful in England?
Why not lead the line for West Ham? They need a striker.
And they need another striker?
Yeah.
No. West Ham is where you send strikers to die.
He will absolutely bomb at West Ham. I'm not being harsh on David. What is he particularly good at as a forward? He is a technical player and he's a good player. What's his superpower?
Apparently he can score. That's what you need from a striker, right?
That's not a superpower. I know he can score. He's top scorer. But what
else do you want from a striker? That's the thing you want is goals. You want someone who just knows how to put it in the back of the net, and he's proven it so far. Yeah, he's proven it so far. Right? You know what? If my striker did nothing else but score, like people Inzaghi had nothing special about him. He just knew how to score goals.
No, but that's not the style of striker David is.
I know. But I'm saying is that's
like Inzaghi. You could say his superpower was movement in the box, right? That's not David's superpower. Like he takes a lot.
His superpower was being offside.
Okay. I'm getting away with it. Like I said, movement in the box. Like, David reminds me of Lacazette. I'll be completely honest. They're very similar players. They're not particularly quick. They use their body well. They drop deep. They link up with players. He needs to play with a goal-scoring 10. I just feel like if you're in a place that works for you, you need to be very careful about leaving. Because if he goes to West Ham, I'm sorry, he'll get found out really quickly.
Yeah, West Ham just wouldn't be right. I don't know. Get him to Brighton. They develop players well.
Yeah, but you know what? I just think that I would not be surprised if he gets a move like that.
I
this
wouldn't be
summer.
surprised either. And financially, it would be very beneficial for him if he does. I'm just worried about what it will do to his career. That's all.
Man, yeah. I mean, players probably don't think that way that much anymore. They probably
Which
just
is
like,
why
yeah.
we have Mudryk.
Which is why we have Mudryk, exactly,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point.
Like I said, back at Leon, he's doing well there, by the way.
He is. He is. Maybe someone should sign him. But
Maybe he'll get his move. Yeah.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Let's move on finally to Serie A, where the story is Napoli. They have been ridiculous. They're in the Champions League quarterfinals. They're playing AC Milan. I'm very excited to watch that, because Milan have seemed to have shaken off a little bit of the rust recently.
They're going to destroy Milan.
They're probably going to destroy Milan. But hey, it's
I think
one very fun team in Napoli against one very sexy team in Olivier Giroud. So I'm happy.
there is a complication. I think they're playing each other in the league as well. So
It's going to be like that bit in, what was it, 2011 or so, where Real Madrid and Barcelona played each other.
Yeah,
like a
like
bunch of
4
times in a row.
Yeah.
Tottenham at that as well with Man City. I think Man
Yet
City.
I don't remember that one. Was that when they knocked City out of the Champions League?
Yeah, when Aguero scored
Oh,
the
I
last
do
minute
remember
goal.
that
Yeah,
one.
he scored the last
That was
minute goal.
funny.
The stadium went crazy, and apparently
VAR took
Sterling
it
was
away.
offside. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, VAR took it away for offside and Pep dropped to his knees.
yeah.
It's fucking hilarious. But yes, Napoli, just unreal this season. Osimhen and Kvaratskhelia are just ripping the league up.
That guy's an idiot, man. He's an idiot. He's this monster for Napoli. He's a pussycat for Nigeria. Like, I don't
Oh, really?
get
He
this
doesn't
guy.
perform for Nigeria?
Doesn't
Oh.
step up for Nigeria, man. He's
I know.
crap for us. But like, yeah, you see him for Napoli, he turns into this beast. Yeah. Anyway, little rant over. Yeah. Yeah. Can't
Yeah.
wait for him.
He's got 21 goals in Serie A, which is far and ahead the overall lead. Yeah, it's been very impressive. Like I mentioned before, he's the striker that I dream signing for Chelsea for sure. If we were to look for a striker, that'd be who I'd go for. But yeah, Napoli are definitely comfortably ahead. The exciting part of the Serie A is definitely the Champions League battle, because you have Lazio, you have Inter, you have Milan, you have Roma, and Atalanta is not too far off, all vying for the Champions League.
I mean, even Juventus, they're all, even with that
And-
15-point deduction, they're 6 points back
I know.
from, 7 points back from Milan
Yeah,
right
they,
now.
they've been in really good form. They were in really good form going into that point deduction, and it just kept going from there. Roma, every time I look at Roma, they've lost a game. I don't know how they're still in that race, but
Yeah, Mourinho had a 3-match touchline ban for
yeah.
I think a referee said something to him, and then he said something back, and and they had the big Roma derby too, where Lazio actually won 1-0, which was a huge game for them.
I mean, Lazio have come in and taken control of that Champions League race in the last month or so, because they were on the outside of it for a chunk of the season, and they've just started stringing together wins. I believe Maurizio Sarri is in charge over there.
He is indeed,
Yes,
yeah.
They've put together a nice little run.
They have a name that a player that's you'll definitely be familiar with is Pedro. Still plays and starts for Lazio.
He does, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's like 36 something there now. But actually, it was recently. I know a name that was linked with a lot of top clubs was Milinkovic Savic,
I
like
want that
five
one, man.
5 years ago,
Right.
this was the midfielder that
Get in line. Get in
everyone
line.
wanted. You know what I mean?
Everyone's
Yeah,
wanted him for years.
And-
He's the unicorn midfielder, yeah.
He announced that he's not renewing his contract with
Yep.
Lazio, so it means he's going to be they're going to want to sell him in the summer. He's
Yep.
20. I think he's like 29, 28 now. He's up
He's
there.
28.
He's
Just turned
28.
28, yeah.
So I don't know if
No.
what club was
Every-
going to go. You're still thinking
everybody-
everyone's going to want him?
Everyone's
Yeah.
gonna
Everybody.
be after him.
Because
Yeah.
there's no other midfielder like him. That's the thing. Like, he's what Pogba used to be, right? It's like that midfielder that had everything. He can run with the ball, can shoot, great passer of the ball. Yeah, perfect Xhaka replacement, which is why he'll end up at Chelsea. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
He'll end up on the bench for Chelsea for no
Exactly.
discernible
Yeah,
reason.
yeah.
Or playing wing back.
Loftus
Yeah.
Cheek will start in front of him still somehow.
At wing back.
Yeah, wing back. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's Serie A always. In the last few years, if it's not a title race, or if it's a UEFA Champions League race, it's fun. It's a fun league the last couple of years, the last 2 or 3 seasons for sure.
It's nice to see different teams taking turns to come to the top of a league, because a couple of years ago it was Inter, last year it was Milan, now Napoli, or 19 points ahead. That's
Yeah.
obscene.
You can say the players aren't even talking about the league. They say right now our focus is Champions League. That's how
Yeah.
confident they are. Yeah, it's
You know-
their best chance to win it. I think. honestly.
They've got the right side of the draw for it too, because they wouldn't have to play
City.
your Madrid, City, or
Yeah.
Bayern, or I'll include Chelsea in that out of courtesy.
Thank you.
Until the final. You are technically on that side of the draw. I debated just naming the 3 other clubs, but yeah, their side is Milan, who they can beat, Inter, who they can beat, and Benfica, who have had very quietly had a very good Champions League season, but who Napoli can also beat.
Yeah, they should be making the final. I think they could win it. Honestly, I think they're the best team
hope
left in the
so.
competition. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, anyhow, you're right.
You look like you're about to say, "Hey, Chelsea could win it," but
Yeah, no. I still think
look, I
Bayern
will give
are
you
the
this,
strongest.
Tommy. There is technically a non-zero chance that Chelsea win.
I mean,
It
we've been
is
in this
technically
situation
non-zero.
before, but for me, Bayern is my favorite, and with Tuchel coming in, I still think Bayern is the favorite. But Napoli
Bayern are the
strong.
favorite because of heritage. I think.
I mean, they have a strong team. Let's not be wrong about that. There's a strong.
I think Napoli can outrun Bayern. That's the thing, and I think Osimhen will have his way with that defense. It's just
that's. I mean, Delict
They-
has been
their
having a
attack
great
is-
season in defense, and he can
I
match up very well if he's with Osimhen, I think.
I don't think the league matches up very well with anybody with pace and power. That's my personal opinion. I think he's good he's good on the ball. He's better on the ball. I think Upamecano does all the running.
I mean, you got to talk about Osimhen. I think Kvaratskhelia is going to be the one that holds the key.
Yep. Which fullback is stopping him?
Yeah.
Because he
Kvaradona.
plays.
That's what they call him nowadays. Kvaradona.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kvaradona.
Yeah. Anyway.
One of these days we'll get Tommy to do a little footballer name spelling bee, and I'm going to toss Kvaratskhelia at him just to see what
Yeah,
happens.
well,
That'd probably be the one he gets. Funny
It would
enough.
be.
Yeah.
Mess up Matt Target.
Target, yeah. Jesus.
Target.
that was a-
Mr. Target.
I think that just about covers everything we had to talk about. I don't know. Any last second things you want to get in there?
Nope. I miss watching Arsenal play, so I'll be glad when this weekend comes around. Yeah.
Imagine saying this time last year, Tony.
I did say it this time last year.
Did you?
Yeah, we were decent this time last year. It was 2 years ago.
Oh, right. The collapse came later.
Yeah. The collapse came now, actually.
It's true.
That's
It was
what
after the
happened after
international break,
international.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
see if it happens again. Let's see if it happens
Pray,
again.
pray for. Do England play at all anymore, or that's it? Those 2 games, they're done.
Just 2 games, right?
Okay, so
Yeah.
so all those players should be sent home already then, right?
Well, sent wherever they want.
Wherever they want. Like, 'cause, I mean, they have the entire week until, like, I'm assuming.
Send Jack Grealish back to New
Yeah,
York.
well, he has time. Yeah. Well, you know what?
Foden has appendicitis, the very serious condition. So, appendicitis. So he'll be fit next week.
Yeah, City
poor
fans
guy,
are so
poor
worried,
guy.
but he'll be ready to play
Yeah.
right away. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sure Haaland
I
is
mean-
fine as well.
They play, of course. They play Liverpool.
They
right?
play Liverpool. Yeah.
Oh,
that should
very
be
nice.
that should be fun.
Very nice indeed.
They'll slap Liverpool. It's at the Etihad.
James Milner trying to chase around after Erling Haaland. Yeah, I'll watch that. What do I normally say at the end of these? Follow us on like, share, subscribe, I guess. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at 442. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Toss us the ratings and the likes and all that delicious social media stuff. Thank you for joining me, Tommy.
Cheers, guys! I'm glad that we've got getting through this international break.
Hey,
Yeah.
we're here for each other.
Yeah.
Get each other through this. Make it back to when Prem is back on. Thank you for joining me, Tony.
Pleasure as always. Enjoyed the chat, boys.
Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.